Hello, I'm Captain Jack and welcome to the Hangar Bay. On this channel, we take a deep dive into the best starships, technology, and more from your favourite sci-fi universes. Today, we're talking about one of the oldest starships, the Destiny from the Stargate franchise. The design is clearly ancient. It was a large starship constructed by a race known as the Ancients, primarily designed as an exploration starship to travel and explore new worlds. In its time left alone and on autopilot, Destiny had already traversed at least 38 different galaxies by 2009. Here's a question while you watch this video. What would you name the class of Destiny if we presume another ship like it would have eventually been constructed? Let us know in the comments. Remember, for the latest videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let us know what you think of this ship in the comments below. If you're enjoying our videos here on the Hangar Bay, why not consider supporting their development? Hit that join button to get early access to videos, behind the scenes extras, and a chance to shape what we create next. Okay, let's go. The design of the Destiny is massive. The starship measures 747 meters in length and 518 meters in width. Destiny itself is relatively flat and triangular in shape. The left and right sides are markedly concave, while the aft portion of the ship is convexly rounded. The ship is very long and becomes narrow towards the bow. The vessel was designed to allow its creators, the Ancients, to explore the universe. As such, a fleet of seed ships, loaded with Stargates, and the ability to make more, was sent on ahead of Destiny's launch. If we look at the surface of a starship, it is littered with layers of textural elements. Some of these are triple-barreled weapon turrets, which we'll speak about in a moment. There are also anti-fighter emplacements. The stern of Destiny is where her engines are located. While the ship is capable of faster than light travel, it does not appear to use what we would think of as hyperdrive engines. Instead, the vessel's drives comprise of 16 individual units. Sublight and FTL are both functions of the same engine. It spans the full width of the stern. The design of the starship was incredibly redundant. Of course, that is demonstrated by how long it has lasted on autopilot. However, the ship is also able to operate without every engine module in place. One unit was destroyed, but Destiny was still able to commence FTL and travel at sublight speeds. Due to sabotage, the original engine count of 16 is now 15, but the vessel seems to operate fine with 15, perhaps again showing a degree of redundancy in the design. Due to the vessel's origins, the entire starship predates the Ancients' technology activation gene security feature. This gene would later be used on Lantean technology. Instead, Destiny uses incredibly complex master code, based on an advanced DNA sequence. It seems the Ancients locked several systems and locations, including the bridge, behind this master code. As it was left alone for so long, something had to keep Destiny running. The Ancients installed a highly advanced artificial intelligence. This system was able to fully control and maintain the Destiny. The design of the system even allowed it to adapt to unforeseen circumstances on its journey across the universe. Primarily, the AI oversaw the ship's autopilot. This allowed for course corrections, refueling stops, and also stopping at planets that had been seeded by Stargates. More on this in a moment. The AI can even plot complex slingshot maneuvers around gravitational bodies. While primarily concerned with the existence of this ship, it seems the Ancients designed the Destiny AI to look after the crew. It was able to analyze the human expedition forces, who arrived on board, and anticipate they would need resources to survive. As such, the ship gave them options to locate it. However, it seems the crew's survival is secondary to the primary mission. In addition to basic survival, the AI appears to be capable of interpreting and responding to the emotional states of the crew. It can utilize a ship-wide neural link to manipulate the crew's minds, projecting scenarios into their minds for various purposes. The AI can be overridden from a bridge. Users of the master code seem to be able to override any of the AI's functions, despite its objections. It seems Destiny's computer systems, which work with the AI, are also capable of storing human minds as programs. This connects with the interface chair located in one of the many rooms. Power generation was a key factor in keeping a ship like Destiny running for so long. The Ancients devised a way for the vessels to be literally powered by the stars themselves. It was solar powered, which is one way of explaining it. Destiny's reactors are fueled by absorbing and storing stellar material through a series of ram scoops on the underside of each wing. To accomplish this, Destiny dives into the protosphere of a star, absorbing materials during its fly-through. Generally, the ship selects standard stars, but the vessel is able to use the likes of blue giants, though this is a great risk to the starship and her crew. In theory, during a recharge cycle using the solar collectors, Destiny has limitless amounts of power. This is because power is replenished almost as quickly as it can be expended. Due to the age of the ship, Destiny can only reach approximately 40% of its original design power capacity when recharging. Although, so far, the only noticeable result of the power shortage is the ship's inability to dial a 9 chevron address. Defensive systems come in the form of energy shields. While advanced in design, they are not as advanced as the ones Atlanteans would use on their city ships and Aurora-class battleships. Still, Destiny's yellow energy shield is able to retain the atmosphere of the ship and resist intense heat from a star. Due to the age and damage of the ship, its shield strength and durability have declined by the arrival of a human expedition force. Still, these shields are highly advanced. Destiny's shields constantly change frequencies in the hope of matching enemy fire. The closer the frequency, the less damage Destiny takes. While designed as an exploration starship, the Ancients' new space was not friendly. Weapons are installed on board. As mentioned, the vessel possesses a vast array of energy weapons which appear to fire yellow bolts. A large number of double-barreled weapon turrets are scattered along the ship's hull. These appear to be anti-fighter weapons, capable of rapid fire and tracking smaller ships to destruction. All larger cannons are on the underside of a vessel's hull. These are significantly stronger than the double-barreled weapons. It seems the design for these cannons was intended for larger targets, such as enemy motherships. Commonly referred to as the main weapon, these weapons can destroy larger targets in a few shots, while also being able to target ground installations for precise damage. Repairs were essential to keeping Destiny operational. It seems the Ancients knew this. As such, maintenance robots were loaded on board. These were small droids that were capable of carrying out repairs on the key ship systems, such as the faster than light engines, but also the large dome structure which is part of the hull. It seems there were potentially a lot of these on board, but likely stored into other cargo bays that have become damaged. There are quite a few interior locations aboard Destiny. These range from, but are not limited to, the engine control room, Stargate room, Kino room, multiple and vast living quarter space, infirmary, hydroponics lab, mess hall, research labs, observation deck, and more. Perhaps the most well-known location is the bridge, which has to be unlocked with the master code. Destiny's bridge is the main command center of the vessel. From here, the ship's automated commands can be manually overridden, such as navigation. Location-wise, the bridge is located at the top of the pyramid section of Destiny, just beneath the forward right section of the roof. As a defense system, the bridge is typically hidden inside the hull. However, it can raise itself upon activation of the main chair console. This gives the crew a forward view. During battle, it will retract back into the hull for protection. At the center of the bridge is a large chair, typically reserved for the commanding officer. Various consoles surround it. Towards the front, 3 workstations are mounted in place. The far left station is for navigational control. Other stations can control ship systems like weapons and more. It appears that operating a bridge requires a significant amount of power for the vessel, as well as reserve power, the ship's onboard AI will retract and lock down the location. Another key location is the Stargate room. Notably, the Stargate on board Destiny is older and different from the ones found in the Milky Way galaxy. It seems Destiny's Stargate is the first generation of gate designs created by the Ancients. This is even more evident when the seed ships, which are the automated ships sent ahead of Destiny, are found to be seeding the galaxies with the same design. Destiny's Stargate, while allowing access to the vessel, was also planned to allow the crew to explore the galaxies that the seed ships had traversed, giving the original crew the opportunity to learn more about new worlds outside the Milky Way galaxy. Destiny's Stargate has the unique feature of being the only known gate with a unique 9 chevron address, to access it from outside its normal range. It seems this also operates as a code to access the vessel. While able to dock with seed ships, Destiny was also equipped with 3 ancient shuttles. Originally, 3 were docked on board, however, only 1 was operational as of 2009. Given the ship's size, it was capable of carrying a large crew and passenger complement. While able to operate with no minimal crew, thanks to the AI system, Destiny is capable of carrying around 1,000 passengers on board. Technically speaking, the Starship's onboard database was also vast in design. As well as containing information about the ship itself and the technology aboard it, it also records the sensor data that the ship takes when scanning planets. Given the seed ships which are deployed by the Ancients are further ahead than Destiny, the database also maintains a subspace link to them. This allowed Destiny to be aware of where to plot its next course, in order to end up in range of newly seeded Stargates. Destiny's database also appears to be linked to the devices, which are known as Kinos. These are small self-levitating orbs, designed and built by the Ancients. Their exact purpose seems to be for scouting planets dialed by the ship's Stargate. The Destiny was constructed by the Ancients around 50 million years before humanity, known by their name as the Tari, rose to explore the galaxy and the Stargate network. The Ancients designed and built the Destiny following their creation of the Stargates and the discovery of a pattern in the cosmic microwave background radiation. To investigate this unnatural pattern, the efforts of an entire generation were devoted to the construction of Destiny. Around the same time Destiny was being built, another project was competing. This was the design of the city ships, one would later be known as Atlantis. While Destiny was being constructed in an orbital shipyard around Earth, several automated smaller ships, known as the seed ships, were constructed and sent ahead of Destiny, both to explore and also seed stargates along the intended flight path of the main vessel. Eventually, Destiny was launched automatically, without a crew. The idea was it would get far away from Earth, and a dedicated team would later gate aboard via use of the Stargate. The Ancients apparently abandoned the Destiny project after they became interested in researching Ascension. Destiny was left to automatically explore the galaxy, going from planet to planet, system to system, and eventually galaxy to galaxy for tens of millions of years. During its journey exploring all these planets, systems, and galaxies alone over tens of millions of years, the ship became damaged. Without a crew to repair her or a shipyard to return to, a lot of the damage came from simple neglect. There was also evident battle damage, suggesting the ship had also seen its fair share of combat while travelling around the universe. Numerous hull breaches were present, but thankfully the shields were able to mostly compensate by sealing them off. In 2009, the Icarus-based contingent gated aboard. Their original mission was to unlock the 9th chevron of the Stargate in the Milky Way galaxy. Due to an attack by a faction known as the Lucian Alliance, the personnel at Icarus Base were ordered to evacuate. Rather than dial Stargate Command on Earth, Dr. Nicholas Rush, the chief scientist, dialed the 9th chevron address. This connected to Destiny's Stargate. After evacuating Icarus Base through the Stargate, the team ended up on Destiny and were stranded there, with no way back to Earth. The new Destiny crew soon discovered the ship's condition, including the lack of water and air supplies. Missions were sent to get resources for both. At a later date, the crew also discovered how Destiny recharged by way of diving into a star. Even though the ship was recharged, Destiny still had numerous offline systems and damaged sections. While sometime into their journey on board the ancient vessel, the crew came into conflict with a species known as the Nakai. They had been chasing Destiny in an attempt to uncover its secrets. Due to the pursuit of a vessel, Destiny's new crew had to fend off their attackers with a broken ship. Now Destiny also suffered sabotage. The Nakai managed to sabotage one of the fast and light engines. The crew then had to work to remove a broken engine in order for the Starship to bypass it. Destiny was then able to complete its journey to the next galaxy. The Lucian Alliance, who were the original people who attacked Icarus Base, renewed their interest in Destiny. Having obtained information, they organised an attack and successfully boarded the vessel, even though Homeworld Command dispatched the USS George Hammer to stop them. Once aboard, the Alliance caused havoc, but the situation was eventually resolved. Dr. Rush eventually discovered Destiny's bridge and unlocked her key systems. After sustaining more damage due to more battles, the crew did attempt to dial Earth and evacuate while Destiny recharged inside a star. This was not a success, and even caused some timeline shenanigans, which would take quite a lot of time to explain. Anyway, fast forward some time and Destiny would be facing a massive problem. The drone forces that were previously encountered by the expedition were now hellbent on destroying the ship. They were intelligent enough to work out how Destiny got its power from the stars. As such, they began blockading stars that Destiny would recharge in. This led the crew to attempt a recharge cycle in a blue giant. With most of the crew evacuated temporarily, Destiny completed a recharge within the blue giant, although sustaining some damage in the process. Due to the drones blockading the stars in the galaxy, and with supplies running low, the crew decided to enter stasis pods and skip the rest of the galaxy. Destiny would be directed to jump to the next galaxy in an attempt to escape the drones. However, there were not enough stasis pods online. Crew member Eli Wallace was the only person who stayed out of stasis in an attempt to fix the vessel's other pods so he could join his crewmates. What became of the Destiny is currently unknown. Early on into the development of Stargate Universe, the art department and creative teams went through many design iterations to try and find the look of the Destiny. At one stage, it seems there was a circular design but was inspired by the Stargate itself. However, series creator Brad Wright eventually came up with a chevron design that would eventually become the Destiny. The set design of Destiny was vast and had a lot of working space. One of the features was adaptable walls, allowing technical aspects to be displayed, or the plain bulkheads. Production designer James Robbins once gave a tour of the Destiny well over a decade ago. Jose Perez was the chief modeler for Destiny in Stargate Universe. Work on the Starship began as the series of Stargate Atlantis was coming to an end. Visual effects supervisor Mark Savila and producers Brad Wright and Robert Cooper all gave their input. Perez kitbashed over 26 ship designs from recycled parts to come up with the look for Destiny. As Perez mentions, Wright came up with the chevron look of Destiny and the art department went from there. Early versions of Perez's Destiny included a more streamlined version. This was before applying more textures. In-house FX artists added several guns and smaller details to the sides and rear of the ship to give more visual interest. Here are some concept versions of the Destiny on screen now. That's our breakdown of a Destiny from Stargate Universe. While some may not be a big fan of its entry into the Stargate franchise, there is no denying that the design of this starship is rather cool. If you want to explore more Stargate Starships, like the BC-304 Daedalus class, click the players on the end screen now. To keep up to date with further Hangar Bay videos, hit that subscribe button. That's the end of this video. I've been Captain Jack in the Hangar Bay. Remember, if you're talking about science fiction, we want to hear about it.